My husband threw his own parents out, and I just watched. When I first met him, I told him straight up, if you don't want to adopt, we shouldn't even start this. I dreamed of adoption since I was a kid. He just smiled, kissed my forehead, and said, then that's what we'll do. That moment, that quiet, certain moment, was when I knew he was the one. We got married a few years later, built a small house with big dreams, and after 2 years, we decided it was time. We found out about these twin siblings, a boy and a girl, who had just lost their parents in a car crash. They were so small, so scared, and when I looked at them, I felt something click in my chest, like this was it. This was family. We only planned to adopt one child, but separating them felt cruel, so we took both, and it was the best thing we ever did. One of the twins has a mild disability, nothing that stops her from smiling wider than anyone I've ever met. It became our world. Every laugh, every step, every bedtime story. It made life feel full. Then last year I found out I was pregnant. It wasn't planned, but when I told him, he lifted me off the floor and spun me around like we were in some corny movie. Our house was already bursting with love, but now it was overflowing. Our son was born in January, and 100 days later, we threw a celebration. It's a tradition in our culture. Everyone came. Cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, even his parents, who, honestly, never bothered to visit when we adopted the twins. They weren't against it, just indifferent. That kind of cold, quiet disapproval that doesn't make noise but still fills the room. I didn't think much of it until that night. After the ceremony, his parents asked to talk to us privately. We stepped into the kitchen, still smiling from all the laughter and clinking glasses, and then his mother said something that sliced through the warmth like a knife. Now that you have your own child, are you really going to keep those two? I froze. She looked right at me, then at her son, and continued. One of them is disabled. You think you'll have time for your real baby? Shouldn't you focus on your own blood? I swear, the world went quiet for a second, like even the house itself was holding its breath. Before I could even open my mouth, my husband exploded. What the hell did you just say? He wasn't yelling, not yet. It was that low, trembling voice that comes right before the storm. And then, like thunder, all 3 of them are my children. His voice echoed through the walls. Everyone outside probably heard him. His father tried to calm him down, but he turned on him too. No, you don't get to talk. You don't get to question my family. You don't ever come into my house and insult my kids. He pointed toward the door, his entire body shaking. Get the hell out, both of you, and don't you ever come back. They just stood there, stunned. I'd never seen my husband like that. His eyes glassy, his fists clenched, his whole body trembling not from rage alone, but from heartbreak. His mother opened her mouth like she wanted to argue, but nothing came out. They turned and walked out silently, faces pale, the sound of their footsteps echoing down the hall. And when the door shut, he broke. He sank to his knees, right there in the hallway, and I watched as he pulled our twins close, his arms around them so tight like he was afraid they'd vanish. He kept whispering, you're my kids, you're mine, don't ever think otherwise. And then he cried, the kind of cry that comes from somewhere deep, from a place you didn't know existed. I knelt beside him, but I didn't say a word. There was nothing to say. Later that night, after everyone left, the house was silent again. The kids were asleep, the baby finally down in his crib. He was lying on the floor, holding the twins like a shield around his heart. My phone buzzed. It was his mother. I hesitated, then answered. Her voice was sharp, furious. Why didn't you stop him? He threw his own parents out. You just stood there. I said quietly, because he did the right thing. She went silent for a second, then hissed. You turned him against us. That's when something inside me snapped too. If my parents had said something like that about my children, I'd have done the same damn thing. There was another pause, and the line went dead. I went back to the bedroom. He was still there, his face pressed against the kid's hair, eyes red, chest rising and falling in uneven breaths. I sat beside him, kissed his cheek, and whispered, you did good. He didn't say anything, just held them tighter, and I lay down next to him, wrapping my arm around all 3 of them, my husband, my